to the left. Flex your body. You're so sexy. Flex your body. You're so sexy. Here we go. Look. Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Come on, back it up, back it up, then turn to the left. Let's go. Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Back it up, back it up, then turn to the left. Let's go. Flex your body. Flex your body. You're so sexy. You're so sexy. Flex your body. Flex your body. You're so sexy. Let's go. Hey, look. Here we go. Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Let's go. Back it up, then turn to the left. Let's go. Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Back it up, then turn to the left. Let me see your body. See you flex your body. Baby, you're so sexy. Yes, you are. Flex your body. Let me see you flex your body. You're so sexy. Hey, hey. Slide to the right, slide to the left. Right foot, left foot, then turn. Right foot, left foot, then turn. Now flex. Come on, flex. Hey, back it up, then turn to the left. Flex your body. Do my thing, You're so sexy. You're so yes, you are. So
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. 5 minutes past the hour on this 16th day of July. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building, along with Sister Jax, who's the life strategist, the art therapist, the speaker, the author, our brother from another mother, Brother Fatim from the Open Line, on lines from WBLS 1075 in New York City. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, wait. How are you doing? I didn't ring the bell because I thought you might want to do the intro one more time. Make it 3 times. Do it 3 times, Joe. Do it 3 times.
Well, Mr. Perfectionist, what you didn't know, because you can't see everything, is that Sister Jax didn't have her camera on. And I didn't want to bring us on with one person black screen. But since you want to run up and tell people imperfections, how you doing this morning with your hat laying sideways? How you doing, sir?
My hat laying sideways. First of all, I'm giving the bell for Joe. Jax, you don't get a bell.
Wait a minute, Jax gets a bell.
Wait. I'm gonna tell you why Jax don't get a bell. No, don't give Jax no bell yet. Hell no. Jax last week in his saxophone, trumpet, and trombone playing got me sick. I got a cold now, and it's her fault. It came through the computer, and now I got the cooties. So you don't get no damn bell. You blew your trumpet last week. And got me sick, but I still love you, so you get a bell. You get a bell.
Look, was it me or was it somebody else got you sick?
Don't start no mess. Don't start none, won't be none, okay?
I know. You know, last week it was mainly my allergies, but then when I was at that big event on Saturday, on Sunday rather, about halfway through, because people are hugging me, I'm signing autographs, and snotty kids are coming up and all of this stuff. Before you know it, I felt like a knot was in my throat, and my husband bought me something to eat, and I went to swallow it, and I'm like, oh my God, I have a knot in my throat. So that's when I started to develop a sore throat. My ears are clogged up. I still can't halfway walk. My hip is jacked up. So I'm like, it's been a rough past few days, but I'll be all right. So yeah, Joe, thank you for trying to wait for me to come in, because you see, I bought a new box of tissues, y'all, so I don't have toilet paper sitting next to me. Shaming my mama, because she can't stand my rolls of toilet tissue everywhere. But,
Lord.
Lord. Sometimes it's just a little drip. Sometimes I don't need a whole big tissue. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just need 1 or 2 little pieces, just a little dab. That's
good enough. And Jax is promoting our Thursday show with a knot in her throat. Ooh, that's ooh.
Well, family, let's say this. This might be a good place to remind folks that COVID is still in full effect, and there are folks. There are folks still coming down with COVID. I know, because I had the opportunity to talk to my youngest son, and there are folks in his household that have COVID. So listen, COVID and respiratory disease, along with allergies, are still going on. So what I do recommend to everybody who is on this podcast and listening to this podcast, because we are now on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook, to remind yourself to be careful and be vigilant, because there are still diseases out there that you can catch, and make sure that you do what you need to do to boost your immune system, because it is allergy season, and make sure that you need to do what you need to do if you have allergies, that you're not too much sniffling and coughing and sneezing and going through all the stuff that the allergy season brings. Because I know that doesn't feel good. I know
how long is this damn allergy season? Because it's usually beginning of spring. I mean, we're in full effect almost in August. Why are we in allergy season? Are we getting ready to go back into allergy season? Why is allergy season? Has it expanded now? What's going on?
I'm not a doctor, nor am I expert. I don't know. But I just know that
is this really allergies? Is this something? See, Joe, you opened up a Pandora box. See, again, I was getting ready to look at what the pollen is in Newark, because that is reported on the news. And since so many people suffer with allergies, so again, there is a lot of allergens in the air that has not been. Again, Eitan talked about there's a lot of things more in the air. Since COVID, there was a lot of things coming down the pipeline that we assume is allergies. It's not quite allergies. A lot of people are holding on to colds. I mean, I just didn't jump and I had nothing but COVID tests in my closet, but I just didn't jump to take one, because I noticed that since COVID has mutated, that now you could take a COVID too early, and then 3 days later, you know, it comes back positive. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be paranoid, because I used to be paranoid with it, you know, but now, you know, once I finally did get it, you know, it only lasts 3 days, but I stayed positive for that long. But I just say, you know, I went to the doctor some years ago and I was itching, just itching. And I went and he was like, there's a lot of things that we don't know. He said, I'm going to prescribe you something. It was called Zyrtec at the time. Zyrtec was not sold over the counter. It cost me $90 for 30 pills, and that was with my job insurance.
Wow.
And then, of course, they eventually made it over the counter. The doctor that I went to, a specialist in allergies, he said, I take a Zyrtec. I get itching. I don't know what causes it. So there's a lot of allergens in the air that we breathe in.
Yeah.
That's why still people wear some masks that they wear a flimsy mask and they don't do a damn thing. They just mentally for your psyche, because they're just not that good. You need at least a KN95 or N95, at least the minimum, to have a decent type of mask to go on out there. Them flimsy hospital masks don't do a damn thing.
No,
I'm having to burst your bubble this morning, but you don't do a damn thing.
You know, you're absolutely right. My allergies were so crazy one day last week. And at the event, I was talking to a brother, Fatine, that knows you. I think his name is Brother Farad, right?
Yeah.
And light-skinned brother. And he was saying the same thing. He said, man, I keep popping up with these head colds and, you know, my allergies, but it just usually lasts about a day. And then I'm fine. And maybe 2 days later, my allergies or head cold kicks back in. He's like, I don't know what it is. I'm like, damn, brother, light-skin problems. Like, we got light-skin problems. I don't get it. So you know what? I think today, I think after the show, I'm going to head down to the beach. I have to prepare. I have to do a big workshop on Thursday, but I say, you know what, today I'm going to head down to the beach. I'll do some prep, you know, on the beach, because I like to ground. My husband doesn't think there's any science to it, but they call it grounding or earthing. So I just love nature and being out, you know, whether it be the woods or the beach. The beach is my favorite though, because people don't realize that the earth is negatively charged, right? And our bodies are positively charged. So when we're outside connecting with the earth, especially bare feet to the sand, to the ocean, you know, there's an exchange. You know, it's like stepping into an outlet. There's an energy exchange. And it helps to reduce the free radicals that can help control your asthma, your allergies, any inflammation. And I know I have inflammation in my body. And it's crazy because even I bought some ginger yesterday, right? So last night, I said, you know, I'm going to make some ginger tea. I boiled the hell out of that tea. Ain't a spice in that ginger. Right? I even ate the ginger afterwards. You can't even tell that it has any spice or kick to it, right? Because what's happening now, especially at ShopRite, the fruits and vegetables are not the same anymore. It's all these GMO fruits and vegetables. A friend of mine posted something with he and his wife. She was eating avocados every day, right? And throughout the day, she was starting to get sick, but she didn't think it was avocado. She didn't know what it was. So one night they cut the avocado, left it on the counter all night. In the morning, it did not change color. And y'all know how avocado, within a short period of time, it starts to turn brown, right? And then they went on Facebook Live and took it, and they could bend it. It was very pliable and rubbery. The avocado, the same avocados I get that I thought, why is this not turning yet, right? So once again, they got it from ShopRite. So what they're doing is they're putting all these modified foods and fruits and vegetables in the stores, trying to disguise it as the original, but it's not. And I'm like, that is not even natural. Big ass. So the one I got last night was a little smaller, but it does not taste like ginger at all. So I'm gonna go down my block to
that's what I'm talking about. Family, it is 14 minutes past the hour. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Coming up in the next hour, we've got special guests. I played the song at the beginning of the show today. My good brother Cupid is going to be on. He is the dance party and the line dance king. So I had to play Flex. We're going to play the Cupid Shuffle. We're going to have some great conversation. And since we're talking about allergies and talking to the doctor and ask the doctor, this would be a good place to let you know that Dr. Griggs, what's up, Doc, will be on starting next month. And you can ask the doctor questions every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, Dr. Griggs, starting on the 13th of next month, He'll be on. We're starting to bring folks in here. We're starting to give you information, motivation, inspiration to get your day started and to get you at a place where you say, hey.
And sex temptation. You forgot
that. That Thursday, we're going to talk about Thursday show tomorrow, not today. But in the news, for those of you who are sleeping under Slep Rock, and there are some folks who don't care and don't know and don't really understand what's going on. Former President Donald Trump, who is running to be the president of the United States of America against Joe Biden, who is now the current president, has chosen his running mate, which is J.D. Vance. So it's really getting ready to be a race for the White House because I believe, just in my humble opinion, J.D. Vance can stand toe-to-toe with Kamala Harris. Toe-to-toe. So it's going to be interesting. So once again, it's not about a person. It's not about a party. It's about what policies are you saying you're going to implement? Because last night at the RNC, if you watch some of it, and it was in primetime TV, when they had the Teamsters guy there, he really wasn't giving a I'm backing Trump type speech. He was giving a speech like, y'all done forgot about the working person. And the working person is hired. And look, I think he made a clarion call to the Democrats, and he made it crystal clear to Trump that whoever decides to make the working man priority, because as you know, none of Trump's policies has helped anybody who's working. It has helped the corporations, the folks who are the CEOs and the people who are making the big money. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, ain't nobody made no money like that.
Yeah.
No. Well, let me just say this, so that's an excellent point there, Joe. And yeah, we know that J.D. Vance back in 2016 came out against Donald Trump, but when he ran against the incumbent Oklahoma Congressman Tim Ryan, he beat Tim Ryan. And Tim Ryan is really good. He's a real good Democrat. He beat him. And what Tim Ryan brings to the table, you're right. He can go toe-to-toe with
You mean J.D. Vance. You mean J.D. Vance.
Right, J.D. Vance. Yeah, J.D. Vance, thank you. J.D. Vance can do is he can go toe-to-toe with Vice President Kamala Harris. That's going to be interesting because there's some points that he's not good on, that she's excellent on. Now, you talk about the working person, that's where J.D. Vance comes in with rural America. So that's where his stronghold gets there. The next thing with Pence was a puppet. Pence was a puppet to Trump. So I never knew if Pence could run the country if Trump was not able to carry on his presidential duties. J.D. Vance is a politician. He can run this country. He can run it his way, but he can run this country. Right now, the momentum, and we one thing I don't is play with myself. Right now, the momentum is in Donald Trump's hands. It's in the Republican Party's hands. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You saw the interview with President Biden and Lester Holt of NBC last night, and smoke and mirrors again. Biden wants to try to get tough and talk it. I'm not falling for that bull crap. He's not strong enough to be the president. He's done some great things there on good things. And there's some things that we would question. But overall, looking at the country, we were in better shape coming out of where we at now than coming out of the Trump situation. But we also had COVID back there. So I put everything on the table. Right now, the Republicans have the momentum. One thing I did notice, I always noticed, and Amber Rose, speaking last night, and a few sprinkle of Black people. One thing about the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is the inclusiveness. And what you see with the Democratic Party is you see more of America. When you see the Democratic Party, when you go to their conventions, I've been to the convention. I've been invited to this convention. I'm just not going this year. Is that you see more inclusivity of us, of America, not just Black folks, not just white folks, but Indian, Caribbean. We see more of that. So that's where we see more inclusiveness. But right now, due to the fact of what's going on with President Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, the Republican Party right now has the momentum. We'll see what the Democrats do. And that's all I can say. But right now, they have the momentum.
You know, it was a lot of rhetoric last night and a lot of, you know, we talk about Amber Rose speaking, but they had the individual, he's very right wing and very anti-Semitic. He was speaking last night and I forgot the guy's name. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you look at the RNC floor last night, it was looking a lot very inclusive. It was a lot of folks there and a lot of different folks, a lot of diverse folks. You know, once again, when former President Trump came out, he looked different to me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. He looked different. I don't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it, but he looked
called humbling. It's called second chance. That's what it's called. It's called humbling and it's called second chance.
He looked different, but when I looked at his VIP box, there were some people in that VIP box that concerned me because Tucker Carlson has absolutely nothing for Black and brown folks, nothing for us.
But that's his boy.
You know,
that's his boy. He's not going to alienate his base.
And once again, like I say, all skin folk and kin folks, even the brother that was in there, the brother that was in the box, you know, and seeing Amber Rose say what she said, you know, it's going to be interesting, and it's still early. It's still July. Listen, y'all, something. I said this to Jax last night, and I believe I said it to Brother Fatim. Something can happen a month before the election, and we be done forgot all about the assassination attempt. We'll be done forgot about everything. So once again, it's still early. We don't know what's going to happen, but once again, I'm not talking party. I'm not talking person. I am talking pure policy. Because it is the policies and the laws that are being put in place that will affect my livelihood, my children, my children's children, and future generations to come. And we got to pay attention to the policies that are in place and how they affect our everyday life. They were talking about gas prices and going to the grocery store. And I was like, what does the president got to do with that? Why are y'all talking about this? Because once again, the propaganda machine would make you feel like, but what does the president have to do with that? I'm like, you talking about gas prices have absolutely nothing to do with who's sitting in the White House.
Yeah, but they ride that. So the American people
somebody's
put that on
speak. Somebody's got to speak truth to power. The president has absolutely nothing to do. That's what gets me.
But the problem is the presidents ride that, Joe. If gas prices are low, and inflation is down, they ride that. Oh, I'm president. You can see I got gas prices down, inflation down. See, so you can't sit there and say that where they use that to their advantage when it is in their advantage. That's the whole thing. You can smoke that fake cigar if you want to, but the bottom line is they ride it. They utilize what they tend to do. That's why they're smoking mirrors with this whole. Oh, I got a couple of Black and Miles over there, bro. So I'll go pull them right now. You know, great flavor. But I'm serious. Let's be real about this. Presidents, if you go back, when inflation is down, when gas prices are down, they ride that. They use it as part of their campaign speeches. So don't sit there and say because now when things are high that they don't have anything to do with it, then they shouldn't use it when things are low and they're the president. They shouldn't do that, but they do.
But you know what that reminds me of, Fatim? That reminds me of like a situation where a father or a mother is not there for their kids, but every time it's a graduation, it's a big event. They're the loudest ones cheering and yelling for them, and nothing to help them get there. So it's the same concept.
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing. But propaganda machine. All of them use that.
Yeah.
All of them.
I find interesting also. Go ahead, Joe.
So, Sister Jack,
let me get me something to smoke here. Hold on.
Yeah, see, you know, Fatim would have had to do it. I'm really doing this for the celebration of my grandson, but you know,
I'm gonna get one for celebration of your grandson too. What the hell? Let me get me a fake.
We got one of my. We got a fellow scholar that just jumped inside the chat, Brother Coke. So listen, here's the one thing we really got to, and we really have to understand this, that the propaganda
Joe ain't the
machine,
only one. Okay, let's go, Joe.
If that is New York City.
that
Come
boy
on,
right
Pop.
there.
Come on, Pop.
Hey, so
Oh,
the propaganda machine is doing what the propaganda machine does. I have a new saying, and I added something in on what Fatim always says.
Sir.
The Republicans are robbing the bank. The Democrats are driving the getaway car, and the independents are the lookouts.
Mhm.
Let me puff to that.
Yeah, that's real talk. Hey,
no claims or nothing
you know,
coming up.
I no, because ain't nobody lit nothing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Ain't nobody
the
lit nothing on here.
Republicans, the
But
Republicans.
42-year-olds don't chew on no doggone black and mild like that.
Oh,
Would it be talking and moving?
Yeah.
You're right, we gotta do it.
Yeah. Like you about to reset, somebody's alternator. Let me tell you, young man. What's wrong with it? Let me tell you, young whippersnapper.
It's better than holding it like this.
You ain't a rapper. You ain't a rapper.
Okay, all right. Be careful now.
You ain't a rapper. You ain't a rapper. You a young whippersnapper. Let me tell you what's wrong with that alternator. Hold on.
We fool.
Hold on. So the Republicans are robbing the bank. The Democrats are driving the getaway car, and the independents are the lookout. Last night, if you really listen to that Teamsters speech, and I may play it a little bit later, that guy said a lot. Me and Cupid, when I was asking him would he come on, Cupid said something that really blessed my soul. Cupid said, these young folks just ain't falling for the okie doke no more. He said, people our age, we're debating, we got a problem, we're saying this, that, these, and those, but these youngsters ain't falling for the okie doke no more because they don't get all their information from mainstream media. They the internet. Cupid said something that blessed my soul because I never looked at it that way. Cupid said these youngsters, they own the internet and they sharing information. And he said the only way you can pull the wool over some of these young folks' eyes, even though there needs to be a mixing of the young and the old and bringing together of both with their strengths to make us even better. But these youngsters, you jump on and say something, man, these youngsters, I went on the internet last night after Cupid said that and started looking at how some of these youngsters are breaking down the video from the assassination attempt. Man, they showed everything from the chick who's videoing. They like, man, look, what's up with her? They like, man, the whole time she ain't flinched. She got the whole video the whole time. You know, and they talked about the expressions on certain folks' faces. They talking about how quick the guy, in which if you're military, you understand, you know, that didn't bother me one bit because folks were like, how did that happen? Well, you're not military. You don't know. You don't know how snipers can acquire a target. Most good snipers can acquire and kill a target in less than 3 seconds. They can acquire, shoot, and the target's down in 3 seconds. If it's 5 seconds, it's too long. You know, so you know, and these guys that were on the roof, they the type of people that you see in the movies that y'all only believe that really don't exist. No, there's really people out there that bang bang and it's over.
That's right.
Well, some of those folks on, you know, and I can save it for Brother Cupid. You know, you might put me in a debate because, you know, I think you're giving too much credit to a lot of young folks that are on the internet that don't understand the internals of the workings. It's one thing to share information, but to understand the information that you're receiving. That's the difference. There are a lot of young people that are part of organizations that I said that we need to bring on. You need to hear how savvy they are. You need to hear young people that have ran for office. If they got in office or they haven't gotten in office, there's a lot of people that are council members across this country that are young. There are a lot of assembly men and women that are young. They are congressional leaders that are young. Yusuf Salon, one of the exonerated 5, is a New York City council member, headed up one of the dealing with the justice panels. You have to bring them on to have a conversation with those young folks versus those young folks that are on the internet that are sharing information, but some of them don't understand the workings of the political party. When you start to break down the three branches of government and understand how they work and why they do certain things, a lot of them cannot break that down. They get information out there. A lot of this information is not true. And how do you decipher a lot of the information that you're getting off the internet that is not true if you don't really have a strong knowledge of politics? So you got to be very careful of saying the youngsters are not falling for the okie doke, because if you listen to and see them interviewed, a lot of them are still going on superficial things.
Well, and I'm not disagreeing with that, Brother Fatim. However, at 30 minutes past the hour, I will say this. I will say this. I'm not disagreeing at all. What I am saying is we have to use our combined strength.
Yes.
On both sides for the greater good of all of us. The old need the young and the young need the old. And to me, while we're discussing about disparities and divisiveness between black and white, rich and poor, one of the other big lines that are drawn in the sand is between young and old. And that needs to be also corrected and brought to a place where there is more togetherness, where there is more unity, where there is more both sides with their ears open, listening to the strengths and how those strengths can be used for the greater good of all of us. That's all I'm saying.
And what you're saying, and Jax, I want to bring you in on this. I hate to be a pessimist today. What Joe is saying is the hope for the future. But when you go to your scriptures, you know, as Joe said yesterday, there have been a lot, Rome, Greece, Greek, a lot of empires that were strong dynasties that fell. And what brings them to their knees is not another country, it's themselves. And what I'm seeing, and the worst, again, this country is very, very, very polarized. If you go back to Jim Crow, yes, it was polarized then, but you started to have some good conscious white people. And the reason why you had a lot of good conscious white people, because a lot of their children, or they were raised by black folks that brought there in some kind of balance there. Right now, we are so polarized that we may implode. So yes, it's nothing wrong to be optimistic, as Joe's talking about, but there's another side of the glass. It's pessimistic, half full and half empty. And the way this country is going, we are going to implode, and we're going to destroy our own damn self. And I can't have that. We can talk hope, but I don't delude myself that the way this ball is rolling is damn rolling down fast, going downhill.
Absolutely.
But brother Fatim, and I'm going to turn it over to Sister Jax. It is that hope that has got us thus far. Understand, I'm pretty sure there was somebody who also said back in the days of slavery and back in the days of our captivity, do you ever see us free? And somebody said, man, I can't see it. What you mean? You talk, look at our conditions, look at where we at. But see, it's hope that upsprings that well that says, what can we do to change this situation? It was the hope of those who were in captivity that we don't stay in captivity that elevated us out of captivity. I understand what you're saying, and you can be pessimistic and you can say, man, I just don't know. And I get that. But I have a hope, and I have a hope that I believe I might not live to see it. But watch this. That doesn't mean I shouldn't continue to speak on it and try to bring the conversation to bring it to pass, because once again, too many times we are just too damn selfish, and it's about what benefits us. I'm right now understanding, and maybe it's all because I held a little small package and it looked me in the face, and I realized it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. That's why I can't talk party. I can't talk person. I've got to talk policy, because guess what? The party can be corrupt and messed up, both sides. The person can be messed up, corrupted, full of sin, full of issues, full of problems. But the policies, the policies and the laws that are put in place to govern, those have to be for the people, not something to suppress the people. And if you don't put the right folks in place to put in the right policies and laws, the laws will always be a disruptor to the people and not an uplifter to the people. I'm here asking, where are the do-right folks? You know, brother Cope put in here about a green party. I don't give a damn about a green party, a blue party, a black party, a white party. I want a do-right party. Where is the folks that are going to do right to uplift all the people for the greater good of all of us?
Well, Jax, I know you got to get him, but he said, he asked the question about the Green Party. I mean, I don't even know how much of y'all know about the Green Party. The Green Party is an established party out here. And they are trying to do what some of the things that you say and have some of those type of candidates. Those candidates don't resonate. Like I said, let me just say this here. I want to cut through this bullshit. I'm sorry. We as Black folks, a lot of us, we like a good sermon. That's what we like. So what I'm saying is Joe is talking optimism, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because you're right, Joe. If you look back to slavery, a lot of people didn't see far ahead that they could see themselves free, even though they wanted to be free. And I understand that. But the problem is we want a good sermon. So you can't sit there and say you can't talk party. You want to talk about a do-right party. But right now we're polarized, Joe. So anybody that comes out to be a do-right and you try to talk that, you cannot get into the Republican Party talking that. You can't get in there. You can't. And then when you go into the Democrat Party and try to talk that, you know, there's still certain roadblocks there. So I'm just saying, you're right. But we got to realize this is not about a sermon. And you're right. This is what we got to do. But we are looking at something that is going downhill. And we haven't seen this in such a long time, my brother. That's all I'm saying. I want to hope. I got 2 daughters out here. They don't even have their children yet. You understand? Jack's their children have not had their children. So we want this to be a better country. But as polarized as it is, as the Supreme Court is going to the right, it is on the right side. You just got the Donald Trump classified case dismissed by a Trump appointee judge. So I'm just telling you, the way this country is set up, the Democrats had a ride. Now the Republicans are coming back. The difference with the Democrats is the Democrats preach, oh, we're not going to do what you do to us. The Republicans don't give a damn how you did what. We're going to do what we want to do. We don't give a damn about you and nobody else. This is what we're going to do. And that's the point that Democrats got to get some kahunas out there and start doing what needs to be done and trying to stop trying to be the party for everybody. Because sometimes you can't be the party for everybody.
Yeah. And you know what? You guys are both making some very valid and amazing points. Mm-hmm. But when we look at the whole scope of the situation in society in the world today, we have to understand that everything happens for a reason. So if the Republicans get in and start to continue to rule the earth, you know, it is what it is, right? Because we have to look at the larger picture. So even like what you were just talking about, Fatina and Joe, took me back to scripture and Revelations 13:10, where it said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. So guess what? Those same ones that put us in captivity at some point, scripture already says, if you believe, that it's going to come back around, and the same ones that oppressed us will then become the oppressed, and our people will rule. But our people have to wake up. We got to wake up and follow God and do what the heck we're supposed to do so that those tables can turn. That's why they were, and they know that because they read the Bible, right? So they know that. So they do everything to make sure that we don't wake up. That's why the food is the way it is. That's why the music is the way it is. That's why the culture is the way it is. They do all that intentionally because they are doing everything in their power to make sure we remain asleep by any means necessary. Because they know once we wake the hell up, we're about to be back. We're about to be back on top, like the Most High originally made us his chosen people. But we keep on running from it. We'll say everybody else is chosen except for us. Like, what sense does that make? That we will, other races will say, no, we're the chosen people of God. Right? We're the chosen. And we'll point at them and say, yes, those are the chosen people, but can't even look ourselves in the mirror and say, no, we are actually the chosen people historically and biblically. You know, so that shows the sickness that we have within ourselves. And then when I look back to what I was watching on CNN yesterday and MSNBC and other news outlets, BBC, they were talking about gangster, right? Talking about Trump and like he's the most gangster and, you know, all this and that, right? So the irony in it all is that now he has Amber Rose come up there. But what's the title under her name? One of the big titles under her name said rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Influencer.
But it also said, but it also said rapper up there. Right. And so that tripped me out. So I'm like, they attribute gangster to rap, whereas the original gangsters were not rappers. You know what I'm saying? They were the mafia, they were the Italians, they were the Romans, they were the Greeks, all of that stuff. And then the Black and Hispanic folks tried to take that over and become quote unquote the gangsters, you know, especially in the hood. But those original gangsters did not look like us at all. But yet now they're trying to, you know, put Amber Rose in there as a gangster. And to me, she was kind of like a bumbling mess. She tried to do what she can do. But also strategically, when you look at it, that's a whole nother base. Not only the rapper base, Rose, but Amber Rose also does not believe in God.
Hold on. You just said a mouthful, Jax. And I hated to disturb you, but we have to understand everybody that they're looking for folks who are eligible to vote, who have not voted, who say, now I am including you into our fold. This person is with us, and because they can influence you to be with us, we need you with us because every vote counts. Brother Fatim said it best, and I'm going to digress back to you. But most folks don't understand government. Most folks think if President Biden wins the most votes, he wins the presidency. They don't even understand how the Electoral College works. This is a chess game. It is not checkers. And you've got to understand there's a strategic reason why J.D. Vance from the state of Ohio was chosen to be his vice president. And understand this, if you talk to people in Ohio, they will tell you J.D. Vance has did nothing for the working folks of Ohio. Absolutely nothing. But guess what? We are tribal, and folks will say, well, wait a minute. He's from Ohio. I'm from Ohio. I need to vote for him. Ohio is a strategic piece of the Electoral College that is needed in order to win the presidency.
Go ahead. Not only that about J.D. Vance, not only are they going to say he's from Ohio, I'm from Ohio. They're also, once they start looking into that book that he wrote and that film that Ron Howard produced for him and created, the Hillbilly Elegy. Yeah. To me, that was a phenomenal movie. I saw that movie about 3 or 4 times, and I'm not a big movie head, but that movie I watched it numerous times. It was the same thing as a classic, you know, Black in the Hood type of movie, except for white folks. It was hillbillies, and J.D. Vance was like the main character. And wait until he really starts promoting about my mother was a crackhead. I was raised by my alcoholic grandparents. I endured abuse. You know, I was a hillbilly. We were poor. Then I went to, you know, Yale Law and, you know, got a degree. I got this Indian chick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is in the movie. So once he starts to appeal to that base, like, hey, my brother, I'm just like you. I grew up in poverty as well. Your mom was a crackhead, so was mine.
Oh, hold it. And that's what they're doing with Trump. That's what they're doing with Trump. Yeah. Look at Trump. Watch this. Watch this. Guess what gives you street cred in our hoods? Just think about it. How many baby mamas you got? How many times you've been shot? Yep. How many times you've been in, you know, I see it when I go to the courthouse, brothers dapping each other up. I see you back here again. What they give you this time? As if it's a badge of honor. What they give you this time? Well, dog, they hit me with this. Come on, look, I hate to say it, by the litmus of what we say is gives you street cred. Oh, Donald Trump, straight up street cred right now. Absolutely. Multiple baby mamas, been indicted. That's why even when you listen to Black folks who you think would be anti-Trump, they say, well, man, you know, Trump got a point, man. You know, system messed over me just like it messed over him.
Yeah, he's considered the underdog. But to go back on the part what Sister Jax was saying, you're right, and that's why I said yesterday in the chat he could not pick. I mean, there's a couple other candidates he could have picked, but with J.D. Vance, you know what you just said, Joe. You know, he has done some things for rural America, and this story it's a walking tall story. And that walking tall story is a mother. You know what I'm saying? So this story that here, what you just brought up, Sister Jax, is going to, this is what it gives the balance. It gives from New York City to rural America. Yeah. Damn, you done brought two forces together that encompasses a lot of space here in America in a sense of folks looking at this. That's why I said the momentum. That's why again, we can talk realness here. The Democrats are in a very bad problem. The problem is does Trump shoot himself in the foot? And, I don't mean that, literally, but, but bottom line is, yeah, no pun intended. But on the serious side, this gives this ticket a more balance here. And let's deal with the racism of this country and the sexism of this country to white men. You understand? Going against grandpa and a black woman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's grandpa and a black woman. So that right there is a problem. You need a person that can come up, not only look presidential, but can do the job. Exactly. I just want to say this real quick also. I put in the chat, I won't read it, but I'm glad that I wanted to, and Antonio Cope had put out there about the Green Party, and the Green Party is not a green like Joe Black White. It is a party out there, and I wanted folks to know what the Green Party is, because this show is about teaching, and I don't like to gloss over something like that. So I gave you a little backdrop, and then folks, you go out there and do more research on the Green Party and look back at some of the candidates that they have had in different states and that they promoted out there to move forward. The Green Party just never really caught on. They never really had that charismatic kind of, candidate, like on the presidential level. You understand? So that's where we at right there. So.
Right. The Green Party is an actual party, and I was really trying to be a little sarcastic when I said what I said. I don't want folks to think that I was just, as Brother Fatim would say, glossing over. Me and Brother Cope talk a lot of time. Grandmaster Cope, always good to have you in the chat, my brother from out of Florida. I'm headed to your great state on Friday. I will be in Orlando, and I don't know if you're going to be anywhere close by, but I hope to get to see you while I'm in Florida for 5 days. Listen, family, it's serious times, and you got to understand, you got to fact check what's being said. You got to go back and ask yourself who's putting in the policies that are being put in place that are good for you and your family, not only for good for you and yours, but for your community and for the betterment of your community and those around you. Because too many times we got to stop being, this is not times to be selfish. This is not time to be selfish. We can't act like this is apocalyptic times, that the zombies are out there and we're fighting for provision. But we've got to have in the back of our mind, it could happen in any time. So you got to understand, you've got to say to yourself, who would be the best for all of us? All of us. There should be no hate on either side. I see Douglas Guidry put out there.
That's not true.
Hold it. I'm just saying my point.
No, but I gotta respond to that. I gotta respond to that, Joe.
Because I ain't saying you didn't have to respond to that, Brother Fatim. What I'm saying is, let me finish saying what I got to say before you say what you need to say.
All right.
Thank you. Brother Guidry said, wrong VP choice. I would like for him and anybody else, if y'all feel, and the phone lines are here for a reason. I worked hard to get these phone lines. Listen, y'all can call in. We see what you put in the chat. Brother Fatim, you're welcome to respond to what I said.
Yeah, I mean, you just finished, and I'll be honest with you, you were finished what you were saying on what I was going to respond to. You said that it should work for all the people. It's not going to work for all the people. Because if I was sitting up here rich as a black man, and so it's going to be somebody that's a candidate said that we got to make sure that we put enough money into, we're going to have to tax the rich more because we got to make sure that we got government programs. We got to make sure that this takes place. We got to build a low income housing, this, that, and the other. And if I was one of them pompous SOBs that had the money, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to be taxed more. That's not my responsibility. So what I'm saying that there is not one shoe that fits all out here. That's what I was going to respond to. It's not going to work all. So when we talk, we're really talking to our base, Joe. You're talking to our base, what works for all, but really works for all of us. There's another group of people or groups of people that don't fit in our category. And they don't care about what some of the Democrats say because they don't live in that condition. So that doesn't work for them. That's all I was saying. So that you can't have one candidate that speaks to all the people because all the people are not the same. That's all I wanted to respond to.
So I somewhat agree with that, Fatim, but understand this. There are social economic differences outside of racial and cultural differences with everyone. Understand this, and I'm not preaching. I'm speaking my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact. This is my opinion. My opinion that a person who has always lived in prosperity will never understand a person who has lived in poverty. And a person who lived in poverty will never understand a person who has lived in prosperity from day one. Because guess what? People who have lived in prosperity don't know how it feels not to have a bill paid. They have to eat some foods that they would normally not eat. They don't know how it feels to eat mackerels, potted meat, or ramen noodles. Most folks who have always had don't know what Spam is. Spam, what's that?
What about Vienna sausages? I haven't had that since I was little.
Right. But that's the point. People who are in a certain income don't even know how that feels. Don't even know what that is. Some folks have literally all their life, all they ate is mackerels, Spam, Vienna sausages, ramen noodles. So at the end of the day, and watch this, there are folks, just like in trading places, there are anomalies, but most folks who are impoverished, if you put them in a place of prosperity, they're as lost as lost can be. They're like, somebody, if you put them in a place where you put them in front of a screen and say, hey, we just done made you a billionaire, but you got to sit in front of the screen and watch the Dow go up and down in the NASDAQ. They're going to be like, what am I doing here? No, I got my bread. Let me do what poor people do. Let me spend and spend. No. This is how we stay rich. We stay in front of the screen. What you mean? They don't understand. I am saying, in my opinion, there has to be someone who knows how to bring in the balance. That's why I'm one of the few folks here that will say this. President Biden has been a wonderful president. He has brought a great deal of balance in the last 4 years to a lot of folks. However, I don't think that he's at a place of cognizance to move on for another 4 years. And I think that the Democratic Party made a terrible mistake by choosing him to be their front runner, because now with everything that has occurred and may occur even before the election, it does not look like he will be the one who will win and cross that finish line. Now, I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
You know what, Joe? I don't think, number one, I don't think there will ever be a do-right party. Number two, I don't think there will ever be anybody that's going to do right by all of us. Because like you guys are saying, we're all different. Everybody has different needs. It's still like being a parent. You can be a parent. You have a bunch of kids. One kid may think you're the greatest. The other one might like how you do this, how you do that. Or you might look at your kids, in certain ways. So you're never going to be able to please everybody. Right.
But Jax, you as a parent, you will always do what is the best for the greater good of all of you're not going to if you do whatever you do will bring balance. That's all I'm saying. There needs to be. Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Somebody's always going to feel that it was unjust, or
right.
Or
we all in our feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And then they won't necessarily be mad they'll be mad at the parent, but then they'll utilize their method of anger will be displacement. They'll be mad at mom or dad and can't take it out on mom or dad or grandma. So they're going to take it out on their little sibling, taking their toy, breaking their toy, pushing them, lying, saying they did something that they didn't do. So that's exactly what's happening in society today. And that's why it's so important for us to govern our homes correctly and not worry about sometimes the whole political landscape, because they're going to do what the hell they're going to do and make sure they're all right. Because 9 times out of 10, none of us, especially on this chat, are even in that income bracket that they even really care about. We're just like test dummies to them. We're test dummies, we're guinea pigs. They put anything in our community, they'll put 10 fast food restaurants on one damn corner. You know, they'll allow, you know, 1,000 bodegas with all type of rotted food in the back and all type of craziness to go on. And, you know, like I showed you guys before, the picture of a bodega here with, you know, a lot of the bodegas here actually carry ski masks in the bodega. You know what I'm saying? So they're helping to foster an environment for us to do some of the things that we're weak and our flesh is weak. And when those demons get on us, we do all type of craziness, you know? Exactly. And like we talked about yesterday, it's not all about, you know, the whole mental health thing. Yes, that is a huge component, but yo, this is a spiritual thing. You know, it's demons riding on us. It's demons assigned to us at birth that we got to figure out how to conquer those demons that were assigned to us at birth. And that's why we have to spend time in scripture, spend time studying and getting to know yourself, right? And it even takes me back again yesterday to what we were talking about just now with Amber Rose even being at the convention, because there's numerous videos out there with her talking about how she no longer believes in God. You know, she's an atheist. You know, and she gave all her various reasons, right? So I was doing some research, and I know a lot of people are not familiar with Luciferianism, right? And they have Luciferian principles, and a lot of people have never heard of it or don't even understand. Now, I don't know if she falls within those guidelines, but we know Satan is powerful. Satan is Lucifer. He's still powerful, but God is the utmost power, right? So some of those Luciferian principles are as such. The Luciferian puts reason, the self, and common sense squarely above God. The Luciferian has no fear, be that of hellfire or a thunderbolt. The Luciferian wholeheartedly accepts science and human ingenuity as the most holy principles. They also feel that the one mortal enemy is ignorance. And then they also feel that the Luciferian is cruel and wrathful to those who have proven themselves worthy. Right. And then it goes on and on. So there are a lot of principles that they also feel that they're superior illuminated being, and they stand above idol worshipers. Right. And it's very deep. So we definitely
very deep. You know, the
irony in it all is that being that Trump and the whole party, they're really trying to stand on the evangelical Christian values and beliefs, but yet they have this woman come in to speak who doesn't even have any similar beliefs as them, speaks volumes of the base that they're trying to get and the people that they're trying to bring in. So you got to understand, demons are attached to people. So when you let certain people in your life and in your circle, those demons come right along with them, and then it will infiltrate the system as well. You know, so that's why you got to know what you have in your home. You know, I always used to say, my home is my throne. You know, like you cannot have anybody and everybody in your home. I don't think
they can bring out, they can zap out the positive energy and bring in the negative energy. And I think that was a teaching moment. I want to do a teaching moment before we bring on our guest comes on. So great job, Sister Jack. So going back to what Brother Joe said, and he was talking about somebody that appeals to try to come out and do right. That's why I've said, this is for Tees speaking. President Obama was not the all, but damn near he did a lot. And I'm not going to, because you know who tends to attack him more? Because when the Republicans attack him, they don't have facts. They don't stand on anything. Because when they attacked him on healthcare, it still stood. It's a lot of us. Oh, he didn't do enough for black folks. He didn't do enough, but he did do a lot for black folks. Y'all just didn't, because it was entitled black this, black that, black this, and he did do. He did do, because I worked with the White House and worked with the community when he did those kind of things. But let's go here, teaching moment. Here we go. I'll take my glasses off here. Number one, this is what Joe's talking about, trying to deal with all the people. This is how the country benefited from economic recovery. Economic recovery in the response to the Great Recession. Remember, we were in a Great Recession, y'all. Obama signed the American Recovery Reinvestment Act, ARRA, in 2009, which aimed to stimulate the economy through tax cuts, expanded unemployment benefits, and funding for various public work projects. This helped to create jobs and boost economic growth. Did black people benefit from that? Did white people benefit that? Did Chinese people or Asian people benefit from that? Yes. Number two, healthcare reform. Don't you say nothing, because y'all asses benefited from this. The Affordable Care Act, ACA, also known as Obamacare, often referred, as I said, Obamacare, was enacted in 2010. It aimed to expand healthcare coverage to millions of uninsured Americans, prevent insurance companies from denying coverage based on pre-existing conditions, and make healthcare more affordable. But he didn't do nothing for black folks. You damn liars. Number 3, auto industry. Who benefited from that? Black and white. Go to Detroit and ask them. The auto industry bailout. Obama continued the auto industry bailout initiated by the previous administration. Bush provided financial assistance to General Motors and Chrysler. This helped prevent the collapse of the auto industry, saving hundreds of thousands of jobs. Didn't do nothing for black folks. Again, he didn't do nothing. Don't get me. Dodd-Frank Act. To address the issues that led to the financial crisis, Obama signed the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act in 2010. The act aimed to increase oversight of financial institutions, reduce risky practices, and protect consumers. Oh, domestically, that was domestic. Let's deal with foreign policy. Foreign policy. Obama ended the combat mission in Iraq, focused on counterterrorism efforts, including the operation that led to the killing of Osama bin Laden in 2011. Oh, Obama took him out. He also sought to improve diplomatic relations through initiatives like the Iran nuclear deal and the normalization of relations with Cuba, which that relation was so important because Cuba is so advanced in certain health areas that would have opened up the door there. Climate change. Since we talk about that, and the Republicans say it's no climate issues, climate change and renewable energy. Obama took significant steps to address climate change, including the Clean Power Plan to reduce carbon emissions from power plants and investments in renewable energy sources. He also played a key role in the Paris Agreement on climate change. On social issues, some of y'all may not agree with this, but there's a lot of folks that do. Obama administration supported the legalization of same-sex marriage, promoted policies to address income inequality, and took steps to reform the criminal justice system. Again, this country is not ruled it's not a religious country. We talk about the Bible, and that's your belief, and that's how you move. That's how you decide to move, and that's your choice. That's our choice. But you can't put your choice on someone else. That's your choice, and that's how you move. Everybody don't move that direction. And we may not agree with how they move. I don't agree with same-sex marriage. I don't. But I cannot impose my way on them. You can't do that. But
it's so funny how we can't impose our way on them, but they want to many times oppose their way.
And I fight that back, and I always fight that back. I'm equal with that, Jackson. You're 100%. They try to impose it and throw it down and make it go down our throat. And I said, no, you're not going to do that. Just like when we call out anti-Semitism, but also talk about who the real Jewish people are, or from the tribe of Judah, I don't let nobody back me up. When they came at Kyrie Irving, I stood up for Kyrie Irving, talking about he got to watch and take some kind of Jewish course. That's bull crap. Y'all don't take, when y'all say things about black people that's racist, we don't say go watch Roots or read Roots. We don't say that.
You know what's interesting? He just put out a basketball, Kyrie Irving, a basketball that's all like, artworked up. And to try to incorporate all religions. And when I saw it briefly yesterday, it definitely had the Star of David. And, so he's trying to incorporate some stuff in it. But I'm like, we know Kyrie knows really what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He does.
But it's still so unfortunate that he has to kind of do this little dance around it to try to kind of stay in his position somewhat,
Exactly, because he's because where he's at in the game. That's why I keep telling y'all, and and I'm not being harsh to my folks. But I keep telling y'all, and Joe broke it down, but I told you can't serve two masters. Yeah. You of the world, and it says that. You want to talk God, you want to talk the Bible, but you're still of the world. You can't, and it becomes difficult when you're trying to prove your points, but you're still of the world. I got it. But if it says it's decisive and decisive, not deceitful, it's on point. What it tells you in the Bible to separate from this. Yeah. It says separate. It don't say get a Bible in your house and go to work in corporate America. It says separate from this because this world is going to fall. Babylon is going, the new Babylon is going to fall. And when it falls and you're in it, you're going to fall with it. So if you're going to stand with God, stand with God.
That's
okay?
Right.
If that's what you're going to do. But I'm just going back to Joe's point. Joe made an excellent point. Because I cut him off or I'm not saying he's wrong. What I'm saying is when you did have a person and it was a person of color that did what Joe was talking about, he still got ridiculed because the devil don't want righteousness, y'all. Yeah. And that's why I'm not going to allow y'all to come on here and say that Obama didn't do nothing. Because he was one of the best damn presidents that we ever had. Well, it might not be the best, but he was damn near one of the best presidents that we ever had. And ain't no way I'm gonna let y'all say that. Yeah, he didn't do everything that we wanted, but damn sure he did a lot.
Brother Fatim, just read that comment, please.
You know you in my story. I already made a commercial about your ass, Kidri. So I already made a commercial about your ass. So I'm done with that. I did that. I shut you down yesterday.
Like, sorry, Joe.
Get my ginger tea in here.
Look, you got real ginger down there because it's bull crap I got here.
Nah, I don't have real ginger, but I got ginger tea.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we're waiting. I know he's running a little late, and he told me he probably would be running a little late. We do have in this hour Cupid, who is the dance party and the line dance king, that's going to come on. But as I see some of the comments in the chat, I'll say the following: we can all have our own opinions, but we cannot have different facts. Brother Fatim gave you some actual factual policies that were put in place that made life better for the greater good of everybody, regardless if you were black, brown, woman, man, green, blue, with antennas on your head. If you were a citizen of this great country, he just shows you how a president who had no scandal, no affairs, no indictments, nothing. See, and that's the thing. I said this again, and I'm not trying to be ugly when I say this, but it has to be said again because you really have to get this. Being a powerful, intelligent, good black man, a community leader, doing good by your kids and your family does not fit the narrative of mainstream media and Hollywood at this time. To be exact, it ceases to amaze me. If I bring up these three names, if I say Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, somebody gonna say something negative. And I didn't say they were perfect, but I said they are examples of great men, great black men doing great things. But no, y'all don't want great black men doing great things. Y'all want perfect folks until it comes to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, hold it. Here's what gets me. And the evangelical people, I love y'all because y'all make me laugh every time y'all do this. Well, Donald Trump did XYZ. Well, man, ain't we supposed to forgive him? you know, I'm like, what? I said, hold up. This is the crazy thing. People came out and made accusations after the attempted assassination of Trump, and folks lost their mind on social media, lost their mind. What do you mean that this might be fake? What do you mean? Man, I still have in my head pictures of Barack Obama when he got elected, how y'all put memes with big lips and watermelons out there. Come on, family. Y'all got to do better. Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Do you have a question or a comment? Welcome. Are you still there? Did you hang up? Call back, caller. Call back.
You know what makes me laugh? When I mean, it's unfortunate, but when I think back to the assassination attempt the other day, right? If Trump was at a rally, one of the black rallies that he was trying to have before, if he was at a black rally, it would be so much more carnage and devastation. Because guess what? As soon as the cops would have jumped off, yep, our feet be running before we know we run. It would be all types of people trampled. It would be a mess.
Hold up, man. We ain't even waiting to find out. Was it firecrackers? Somebody clapped their hands. Oh! It
would have been a mess. So
you remember what I told you? That's what I tell you. Lord, please.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing.
Out who it was. I said, Lord, please don't let it be Tyrone Jenkins. Please don't let it be Julio Menendez. Because if it's Tyrone or Julio, I quit. I quit. I quit. I'm packing up my bags. I'm calling my son. I don't know how we gonna figure this out. I'm calling my son and his mama and saying, look, me and mine, I'm getting ready to come over there, and we ain't coming back.
That's it. I just want to acknowledge, I mean, there's so many people in the chat that are saying some good things and a lot of other things going on in the chat. It's just like Jax is kicking people under the table in here. But I want to just acknowledge Rod Sias. You know, he was talking about great analysis when I was talking about the Obama situation, and brother Rod Sias is Sister Shauna Sias' brother. Sister Shauna Sias, you know, was part of the team in the beginning and known as the Conduit. And so I just wanted to make sure. But there's a lot of things going on and conversation going on in the chat. Some good and some funny and some, so it's just interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Stop, Jax. I'm gonna kick you back.
I ain't saying nothing.
You do. You know?
I mean, Jax, think about it. When President Obama got elected, I saw memes with nooses. I saw all kind of stuff. And like you said, when we do something to them, we got to apologize. We got to be, oh, we're so sorry. Look at what they did to Kyrie Irving. Look at what they did to Nick Cannon. Look. When we say something that does not line up with their ideology, all of a sudden now we're excommunicated. Yeah. But when they say something that is totally look at some of the stuff Tucker Carlson said about black folks. Look at some of the stuff Bill O'Reilly said about black folks. Look at some of the stuff Glenn Beck said about black folks. Look, what's the other dude's name? He used the N-word, the white guy that was on radio, Rogan.
Okay.
And we don't get take that.
That's right.
Take that. Hold it. The former president, number 45, who may wind up being 47. You cannot deny Douglas Guidry that he didn't say we need to grab these women by their private parts. So what happened if he walked up to your sister, mama, daughter, and grabbed her by the private part? He's still your president?
He wouldn't have a left hand.
Yeah. And you know what? We have to even teach our children to stand up for what you believe in. Not go along, with the okie doke. Like even my son, you guys know he goes away to an elite boarding school, 80 bands a year to go away to this amazing private boarding school, right? And the other day, I'm, trying to help prepare stuff. Like I like to do stuff in advance and be strategic about it. So even though a lot of kids just got out of school, I'm already preparing to send my kid back to school, even though he doesn't go back until September. So we already started our school shopping now. I do it little bit by little bit. And so I was looking online for a book bag, and he's a big fan of Kyrie Irving, especially once the whole situation jumped off. He loved Kyrie even more after that. So he has a big old poster of Kyrie in his room. I ordered him a couple Kyrie t-shirts last week. When it was time to order his book bag, he was at my dad's house. So I pulled up a few book bags and I said, hey, which book bag do you like? Right? They were all different versions of Kyrie Irving book bags. And mind you, it's only about 4 black kids at his school. And I gave him, a choice, but I said, you could pick whatever you want. You could get this one from BJ's or wherever you want it from. But I found these and they were cool. So guess what? He picked a Kyrie Irving book bag, and so he's not ashamed to walk in his blackness, to walk in what he believes in, and to go away to school and be one of the only ones and still be true to himself and to the Most High and for what he believes in. And my husband and I teach him the difference. I know away at school, they're going to show them one thing, but at home, you still got to learn the real truth about it, so that when you go to school, you can still have some of those intellectual conversations with historical facts, not just with some of the stuff they want to tell you. And it's an amazing school, so we love it. But go ahead, Joe.
Brother Fatim, just read and respond.
I mean, this is a chain. This is a chain. This is a chain. This is deeper than this. You and Brother Fatim. That's just the KC about Brother Tutu. He's just jealous. That's all. That's what that is about. Let's just get to the bottom of it, Jax.
Hey.
You and Casey get married, Doug?
Yeah. Don't worry about my business, brother.
Hey, but at the end of it all, what gets me is, listen, I don't mind. Anybody can have their opinion. All opinions are welcome. However, we have to understand that the propaganda machine has got us hating one another. I'm going to ask Malcolm. I'm going to answer Malcolm's question. Who taught you to hate you? It's them other folk. Them other folks, because they understand, like Jack says all the time, they understand the power of scripture. Scripture says a house divided cannot stand. So let's divide these melanated folks. Let's have them at each other's throats. Then we ain't got to worry about them. See, that's why I'm one of the people who get highly upset, even the more, not when a white person does some type of heinous crime and kills a black person, but when we kill each other. I expect them to hate us. I expect them to treat us less than humans. They always have.
That's right. And you know what?
There's a few of them that don't.
Yeah.
It's just a few of them that don't. I didn't say all of them, but most of them always have felt like we're nothing. You can talk to one of them that lives in a trailer house and he believes that he's better than one of you that's got advanced degrees and living in a $500,000 house. He'll look at you and say, you still ain't nothing to me. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. But what you were before my folks let you go. Let me bring in my brother from another mother. Me and this brother go way back like 4 flats on a Cadillac. My man, the dance party, I need to play a song. It's Cupid in the building. Cupid family. Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing, man? I'm sorry I'm tardy for the party, but
no, man. You probably give me a couple of bags of them chips. I need them chips, bro.
Yeah, man. I gotta make sure I'm looking forward to that, man. That's coming soon, so that's gonna be fun, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, we man, since the first day I got here, I had the awesome privilege to work with this man, do things with this man, and I always love how he stands 10 toes down on everything he believes in, and he does what he does for the 337. This is one of the kings of the 337. Not only is he world renowned as the Cupid Shuffle, Flex, Backyard Barbecue. The brother got a smorgasbord of songs. Now I'm just hitting the ones that y'all know. He got a smorgasbord of songs and can sing. Been singing since he was in church. The man can sing. So I'm just gonna turn it over. Brother Cupid, welcome, man, to hashtag Truth Be Told. Thank you, my brother, for last minute wanting to come on. And I just want to talk about some of the entrepreneurial stuff that you're doing, like with the chips. And you know, I know you're always coming out with hot music. I know Flex to me. Listen, bro, Flex and Cupid Shuffle kind of running neck and neck. It's going all over the world. So just talk about some of that. I just concede the floor. My man Cupid.
Man, thank y'all for the platform. First and foremost, man, thank you for y'all everything that y'all represent and y'all discuss, man. I just want, I'm out here, man, doing my thing. I've been doing it a long time. Like it's funny because the other day I was taking some VHS tapes and I was like taking the stuff off and putting them on digital. Just the fact that I got VHS tapes to some of my performances makes me just really think like the reality of like you've been at it a long time. But just blessed, man. Doing my thing. It's I do have the potato chips coming out. I do have a few other entities. Of course I got the fragrance line, the music, the brass room we do every Saturday. We provide, entertainment with karaoke. And more or less watching my team do good, man, with Uncle Luck and K Chill and Jay Smooth and Fat and everybody. So we just out here just trying to represent Lafayette. When you leave Lafayette and you talk about music culture, you kind of gotta like ask yourself, oh, there he go. There you go.
They say I'm a rapper, and I say no. They say what you doing, trying to do somebody cold. I just let the music come from my soul, so all of my people can stay on the floor.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I was doing that this daggone Saturday. I was doing it this Saturday at our family reunion, and first of all, my brother Cupid, congratulations to all of the success that you have achieved so far, and and continuing to build the road that you're building. And I wrote a couple of things down because a lot of things went in my head right there. The first thing is I had to go back because I believe Cupid Shuffle was released in 2007. Am I correct?
Yes.
2007. So my oldest daughter Fatia was 15 and my youngest daughter is 11. And one thing about us parents that, and I'm in radio. So I work at WBLS at that particular 2007. I was at 98.7 Kiss FM in New York. So, I still have that youthful bone because I'm in the industry, and you can't let your kids get up on the parent. You understand what I'm saying? So every line dance that come out, especially that the kids are doing, you got to realize Ciara is coming out at this time. You are out, but line dances have been with us for a long time. And I think about regional music because I've been blessed to work with Ashford and Simpson, Isaac Hayes, and I always talk about James Mtume because James Mtume, not only from playing with Miles Davis, of course, writing, Stephanie Mills and the whole host of things that he's done, and then doing talk. One thing we talk about is regional music and how your music from there went not the Crunchy Ride, it went worldwide. It went worldwide there. My question to you, my brother, when you came out with this song, because you got to realize before you, I think Tootsie Roll was out, all these type of songs that created these line dances. Why are line dances so popular and even more popular today?
There's a couple of reasons, man. One is the cell phone. The cell phone has a lot of party atmospheres. If you notice, if it's not a song that people have specific instructions to, they just in their phones. They don't dance like they used to back in the day. So one of the things about line dancing, it continues the dance. It continues people wanting to dance because cell phones now, they either recording the concerts or they in their phones so much. And then secondly, I feel like with when I got signed in 2007, I was at Atlantic Records, and the only thing they had was MySpace at the time.
Right.
But the greatest invention for my career is TikTok and Instagram. Because if there was TikTok and Instagram in 2007, I'll be Michael Jackson. I'll be the biggest selling artist of all time. But you have an app that's specifically designed for dances that give instruction, and these social media sites just give you just so much more power to spread the word. So it a good vibe together. And then thirdly, men don't dance. They too cool. Back in the day, men used to two-step and dance. They'll dance and pull a lady on the dance floor, but they too cool for school now. So those three elements combined is why line dancing is so big.
Yeah, and it's amazing that when you talk about that, there's a line dance out there. It's the bus stop. That was one of the older line dances out there with the bus stop. You look at the Tamia dance that took flight. Unfortunately, the R. Kelly situation. Look what R. Kelly did with Chicago. Chicago, again, regional music do different things. Zydeco is big in your region. I didn't know nothing about now damn Zydeco out of New York. I didn't know about go-go music in Washington, D.C. I didn't know about the big house and line music in Chicago at that particular time. And you're right. The cell phones, the TikTok, it not only, this is why I say to radio stations, I say to all program directors, you want to label our music old music, it's good music. Don't say that you can't play it today, because what Cupid just said, from TikTok or whatever, it's reinventing these artists today, and their music is still popular now and resonating with more people now than it resonated then.
That's very true, because back in the day, the only thing that you had to rely on to get information as far as music was radio and TV. But now you don't even have to turn either on, and you go on the internet and you can retain as much information as you want from these social media platforms. And that's why so many old new genres are being discovered, like the Tamia line dance, for example. The Tamia line dance is really a dance called "Come With Me" line dance, which is created by Miss Joe Thompson, which is a country line dance that was created years ago. But this one guy just decided to put that country line dance onto Tamia's song, and it caught on in the African American community. So there's so much history with line dance when it comes to the evolution of it, because the Tamia never made it a line dance at all. Like that's not
Right.
that's but with the internet, is allowing us to spread that information and broaden the horizons of the line dance culture. Like you said, Charlie Green, who I actually just had a chance to work with. Hint, hint. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything, but yeah, like the bus stop and so on and so forth. Those things
Mhm.
are definitely the thing now. Like if you ain't playing a line dance in your party, man, they probably not dancing.
That's right.
That's right. So if you could share with us, Cupid, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you could tell us a little bit about your journey in terms of writing, what inspires you to write, and how does your process flow?
So for everybody who knows me, day one, I started off singing to bounce beats. Because that was the only way you could get people to play your music in the club in the South. Like they wasn't playing no slow R&B stuff from no young guy like myself. And then I started doing what we all call swing out music now. Back in the day, 2005, when I made Swing Around the Rosie. And that's when I started writing for Mel Waiters. And when I got on the road with Mel, I started writing with the concept of not having a certain demographic. Like I wanted to write songs that was cool enough for the young people to like it, but still savvy enough and slick enough wordplay wise to be able to, cater to the older crowd. As that evolved and Cupid Shuffle came out, I just decided to just say, because look, I was in New York at Atlantic, and in 2006 and in 2007, them A&Rs, they thought if it wasn't from the East Coast, they just called it trash.
Yeah,
Oh man, this is
that's right.
garbage. This is crazy. Yo. So I was like, look, I'm gonna make a song with no verses, just a dance. And initially when I got signed, they told me my song was gonna just be a regional record. Which kind of played into my hands. But to answer your question, overall, I try to write music that has no demographic. It has no genre, because then it's difficult to place it in a box. And that was the blessing with the Cupid Shuffle, because it played on country radio, pop radio, urban AC radio, everything, because I wrote it with the intent to not be able to put in a box.
Awesome. So was your name Cupid before you came out with Cupid Shuffle, or is that what they just called you once Cupid Shuffle came out?
So my name was Cupid. Back in 2001, 2002, I used to go around and do a lot of talent shows, and I would sing Cupid by 112. So people would say
Oh,
that's the dude that sang Cupid all the time at the talent shows. And I named the Cupid Shuffle because back then a lot of the Atlanta producers was coming through Louisiana music, and then they would put it out on their bigger labels. So I named it Cupid Shuffle because I didn't have a label at the time, and I was like, if they steal it, at least my name gonna be attached to it, to where I
that's
can
right.
have some kind of like something to be able to fight in case I had to go to court. But I got signed in 4 months, man, so that didn't
Wow.
happen. But that's why I named it Cupid Shuffle.
So
Awesome.
Cupid, my friend, and I got to jump in because that was and still is the crown jewel. But look like you got another crown jewel that you putting right beside it. This flex thing, man. This flex. I played it this morning to start the show off, but I started jumping up having to flex, man. So I
Man,
know that was birthed out of COVID. I remember when you,
yeah,
Yogi, and JB and Smooth was
yep.
doing the dance. I remember when you showed it to me, I was like, now that's hot.
It was
That's
during COVID, bro.
hot.
During COVID, man.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
talk about flex, man. And you see the
Flex.
ground of flex right now. And that's why I missed you at Essence, and we're going to get into that. But
Mhm.
everybody was flexing at Essence.
Yeah, Flex is gonna catch Cupid Shuffle because it's moving at a faster rate. With social media now, it's moving just at such a faster rate. But it's always good. Like man, I fought the one hit wonder thing for a long time, man.
Yeah,
Even though people who really follow me, they know "Do It With Your Boots On." They know
Mm-hmm.
"Swing Around the Rosie," "The Love Slide," all of them songs. But in the biggest picture, I was the one hit wonder. So it was just always big for me. My boy Butch Hartfield, man. Me and Butch work real close, man. And one day we was at Essence, and he told me, he said, "Man, if these people gonna keep putting you in a box, make sure you own the box."
that's right.
So I said, I'm not even gonna try to do nothing different. I'm gonna go ahead and do another line dance, same formula. I got in there with Mr. Fat, and we just came up with Flex. And during COVID, Mississippi in Texas was wide
Come on.
open, but
Come on.
so we
Come
were
on.
going to do shows. We were doing shows in the trail rides during COVID, and then when everybody in the house, they was looking for the next new dance, and Flex just fell right into place, man. Shot the video in Jackson, Mississippi. Then we did another video at Jackson State University while Dion was there.
Right.
The
What
energy was there, and then next thing you know, boom. I think Flex is like 8 million streams away from gold, independent, no label, no nothing. So it's just a testament to like God wanted me to make that kind of music, because every time I make a line dance, it pop. So that's what I'm supposed to be.
The line dance.
Let me ask you this, Cupid. What's going on with this one right here? Because this one hot. This one hot.
Another one. That one is a problem. Listen. Hey. Let me be the first to tell y'all. What? Listen.
Come on.
I started my own online analytic company during COVID. And that song is going to be bigger than Flex.
Wow.
Just purely on analytics, man. It's like people want to dance, man, and they want to be told where to go when it's time to dance. And as long as you give them something that's relative, because you know you went to school at Southern University, you know that jig beat. Once that beat come on, it's and what I wanted to do with line dance is I wanted to make it cool. Because back in the day it was the little, we just do these at the backyard barbecues. This is the little cha-cha slide. Ha 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 ha. And I say, nah, I'm gonna make the music jam so hard with the line dance that you can't run away from it. So
come on now.
That cookout gonna be special. That's gonna be special.
Listen, so I'm gonna turn it back over to Jax, but I want to tell people this. The beautiful thing about Cupid is Cupid works with everybody. I am known for this Southern University because that's where I work at the most. I did go to Grambling. I was at Grambling with Jubilee. I know that Cupid does a lot with Jubilee, DJ Jubilee, Partners in Crime, Shirley Murdoch. I mean, you name it, the list goes on and on. I love this brother because when you call on this brother shows up. I called this brother yesterday in a conversation we had that was really about the young generation and how a lot of misinformation and stuff is being put out, but how this thing called the internet is really kind of leveling the playing field out. That he came in and I just asked him, hey, bro, would you be willing to come on? And he said yes. So, man, we love what you do, Cupid. I'm going to turn it over to Fatim and Jax. I know Jax kind of froze up. She'll be back. But
let me jump in here. So Michael Keith, Brother Cupid, he says, and I'm gonna read his comment and then I'm gonna comment on it and then let you comment on it. So, Brother Cupid, do you remember a dance in the 1970s called the bump? And for me, I just want to give a little background about, dealing with the bump because I was a kid with the bump. And you go back to Soul Train because Soul Train plays a big role in line dancing. You understand? They form the Soul Train line and they come down the line. So at first I had to think, was the bump a line dance? Because I'm watching my moms and my aunts doing the bump in the house. But when you watch Soul Train, they coming down that line and they bumping. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then I look back at the atmosphere. You go into the television sitcom series, What's Happening? You had Fred Berry, who was part of the Lockers. So the Lockers, when he was to do that and do all that, that became a popular dance. Also, and what happened, as you mentioned, radio and television, Soul Train creates this. So I just wanted to add that in there and then let you answer, Michael Keith. You look younger than us. But of course, do you remember the bump? And I think you're a student of music and line dancing, so you should know.
Absolutely, man. The bump, the washing machine. I mean, you can go back to the bus stop, of course.
But let's talk. Wait, hold right there, brother. Go to the bus stop. The bus stop, and you mentioned the gentleman's name. The difference in the bus stop is this is when you had line dancing as well as the DJ at the time live with the MC. DJ's playing the music.
Yes.
MC is doing it, and it's a connection which handed off to hip hop, where you got the DJ. And brother, this is history that they don't understand.
Bro.
But the bus stop shows you of bringing all that together before even hip hop comes into play.
So I'm gonna be re-releasing the bus stop, right?
Ooh.
At the top of the year. But here's the catch. Legally, I don't do any sampling unless I contact the artist directly. I get all the legal stuff together. I'll never remake a song, right? Brother, it was so hard to get in touch with Charlie Green because here's the catch. The bus stop is actually a live recording in a club.
That's right. That's right.
Where a MC was calling out dances on an instrumental that wasn't even his. So there's empty to the bus stop. There's the actual vocal part of Mr. Charlie Green calling his dancers out, and there's a whole nother song.
That's right.
That the instrumental that you got to clear both of those in order to get that done. But that goes to show you how significantly special these MCs were to be able to call and respond something that could become a generational movement. It wasn't nothing that he wrote down and went in the studio and recorded. This was live in the club.
That's right.
And that's one of those things for me that as a former DJ, as a former MC, just in the clubs, I cherish and I look up to, because it's different. You can sit down and get all kind of clever writers to write stuff. But being in New York, a lot of stuff was, give me the mic and I'm gonna make history in this moment. And that's what the bus stop is. It's a moment in time that started a whole movement.
Yeah, and real quick, and I know Sister Jax is chomping at the bit. That's why I mentioned Mtume, because you got to realize when Mtume did Juicy Fruit, here comes Diddy and Biggie, and they got to clear this in the movie. They got to clear, but the way they set it up in the movie didn't happen that way. Mtume had to go and sue to make them come to the table.
Yeah.
Then Mtume said on our show, Open Line, that it's nothing wrong with sampling, but you got to give credit back to the artist. It's nothing wrong with sampling, but when you create your whole thing out of it, then where's your creativity? Then the hip hop group came out, Stetsasonic, it came out, wrote a song against Mtume on that. So they thought Mtume was against sampling. So we had to sit them down on the radio, and Mtume had to explain, no, brother, the same way you as Stetsasonic come out with your own, and then somebody steals that and don't give homage and you don't give restitution back to those that created, how would you feel? And then Stetsasonic finally understood that Mtume was not against sampling, but he was saying you can't steal the whole artist's creativity and then call it yours, and then don't pay the artist. Like you said, you had to clear different avenues before you can move on, because if you don't clear it and put it out there, your ass is going to get sued.
You're gonna get the call.
You're gonna get the call. You're gonna get the call. And Mtume got the call about Juicy Fruit. He had to go into court because they thought it was from the gum Juicy Fruit.
Give me my money.
My coins. I need the Mario coins.
Yeah, man.
So Sister Jax, go ahead.
Yes. Question for you. So as a writer, because I'm a writer as well, so I'm always fascinated in how people write. So when you are actually writing your songs, are you just listening to the track and like dancing first and like, okay, I just took 2 steps, so I'm gonna say 2 steps here? Or do you, how do you do that part of it?
So
because I could dance, but I ain't so coordinated. So following those instructions, I'm not so good all the time. So I want to know how the hell you do it.
So I'm gonna be completely honest. This is gonna be funny right here. So
okay.
The thing that makes me stand out is that's the secret formula. Is taking the music and making it fit the dance. Now that, I'm gonna be honest, is the hardest thing to do. Because there's so many line dancers out there, you don't want to mimic something because then you'll be called out choreography wise. But you gotta make it sonically make sense. So it's very difficult. I'm gonna be honest. I might create 50 of them and maybe 3 might come out right. But I dance. I've been dancing in them clubs
Dewey.
since back in the day.
Really?
Dewey.
So oftentimes I come up with the dances first, and the melody. Flex was just one of those anomalies that just came out where I was just playing some chords and I was just in the studio singing, and it just kind of meshed. But typically the dance comes first.
Okay. Interesting. I love that. So I'm gonna have to keep on practicing because I ain't the, you know what I'm saying? Like I can dance in the club.
Yeah, let's don't go down that road. Because she won't walk down that yellow brick road without stumbling.
Hold it. I got a shameless plug, Cupid. Isn't there a big party about to come up like homecoming weekend called
November 8th, November 8th, I Miss USL.
So maybe I need to pull Brother Fatim and Sister Jax, and we need to do a live hashtag Truth Be Told from Cupid's party. I Miss USL.
And green light, the green light right now is done. Y'all just pull up.
And we gonna get it in.
What date is it? What date?
November 8th. That's UL's homecoming weekend. It's the biggest alumni party in the city, man. And I don't play no new music. Everything old school. Everything. And look, if you want to see a bunch of grown folks need some icy hot the next day, that's Lord. The party you need to be at because it goes down. It goes down.
Well, I got it. I'm put November 8th is cool for me. At the 8th, that's a Friday.
I hope
that's a
Friday.
Friday.
No. So I do the party the Friday because Lord knows if I do the party the Saturday after we tailgate, everybody gonna be too tired. So it's a Friday night.
Gotcha. Nice. All right, cool. All right. I'm there. Okay, I'm clear. That week I'm doing something the week before, a retreat, but that week I'm clear.
Awesome.
All right, it's 19 minutes till. So let's get into a little serious talk. Brother Cupid, as you know, and this affects you, affects me, it affects everybody. We are in an election cycle. And and I just want your point of view on how do you feel about what the folks need to do to get out there and engage in this election cycle, because the laws that they put in place may even affect your music. They can jump up and say this music cannot be played no more. So talk about the importance of young folks, because Cupid's 44. He's 44, and Cupid's married to a wonderful track star from LSU. And man, congratulations on you still newlyweds, man. Y'all ain't even been married. How long y'all been married? 2 years, 3 years?
3, man. Gonna be three.
Wow.
Man.
Well, you get down to newlyweds day. But man, and Cupid does so much. His son's an outstanding basketball player. You're gonna see him out there like Bron one day. I'm telling you. So man, just talk to me about the importance of how you feel about this election season, man, on a serious tip.
You got to make your own personal decision, man, based on the information you got, and based on common sense. Like, I mean, sometimes it don't take a laws and all kind of extra stuff for you just to use common sense. Like if if you got 2 rotten apples and you starve and you got to eat the lesser of the rotten. So I feel like you just got to take that information and just use it accordingly, man, and just use common sense. Like the internet is so crafty now, man. You shouldn't be fooled by AI and foolishness and everything else, and come up with your own decisions. But for me, that's how I look at it, man, is respect, common sense, and how I'm gonna navigate after this guy or lady or whoever it is gets in office.
Right. That as Joe started off and he talked about how, certain things, he didn't use the word policy, but I know what he means about the policies. We have to take this presidential election, because the way we talk about it is that election seasons is every 4 years when we vote on a president. Election season comes every November. And the things that could affect Cupid's music is more with the local politics. You understand? That could affect him immediately. So we got to groom our people to realize election season is not the November, but you have primaries there. You need to know who's running in these primaries to get to that general election. And it's not every 4 years. Yes, we know that we elect a president every 4 years, but you elect congressional leaders, you elect assembly members, council members, ward leaders, whatever, wherever you are. Mayors, governors. So you got to be savvy politically. It's not just about the president. So we got to get more political savvy. And you know why? Because they're rolling things back in different states and different counties. You see what they're doing in Louisiana with the governor. I just read you something that's taking place there. You see what's going on in Oklahoma. You got to become politically savvy, not every 4 years, but every year.
Facts. That's big facts. Big facts, big brother. Big facts.
You know, and one of the things Cupid and I talked about, and one thing, never be scared to have your voice. Let your voice, Cupid. We had a nice little laugh after, and the laugh had to do with some things that happened locally. But understand, never be ashamed to say what you want to say, because other folks will say what they want to say. So put yourself in a position to understand. Cupid's brother, Uncle Luck, who's been on the show, also said it the best. Baby, I ain't got a problem with losing followers, blocking folks, because at the end of the day, I was who I was before social media. Cupid brought up MySpace. There's folk out there that still got MySpace pages.
Man, that's throwback.
We know when Black Planet was still in full effect. I'm just saying, family.
It's still in full effect. Black Planet is part of Urban One, because I work for Urban One, TV One. Black Planet is part of the digital platform that is still out there today.
So Cupid, what new music can we expect from you, man? What you working on new? What can we expect from you new? And during this, the RNC. During the RNC and the DNC, I promise you, they're gonna play the Cupid Shuffle and they're gonna play Flex. You're gonna hear it at the Republican National Convention, and you're gonna hear it at the Democratic National Convention. Both them songs, you're gonna hear it.
You might hear the songs, but you ain't gonna see the dance at the Republican convention. You may see it at the Democratic convention. They ain't got no rhythm at the Republican convention, so you ain't gonna see the dance over there, bro. You ain't gonna see that.
Don't get fooled. Don't get
fooled. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna see it at the Republican convention. Thank you.
Drunk white lady, some drunk white man.
There you go.
Hey, Cupid. Me and Cupid been to Nashville. Look, I'm from Tennessee. We got more letters because we more better. Don't think some of them line dances in Tennessee from all
the people in RNC ain't from Tennessee. All right, so be careful, though.
All right, Brother Cupid, new music. Talk to me, baby.
Oh yeah, the bus stop will be coming out next year, man. Right now, the cookout, and I'm just really I'm just really taking my time and spreading the news with this line dance stuff. I just did a remix, a line dance remix to Selena Johnson's Black Balloon record. My girl Selena Johnson. Yeah, man, and I'll be touring overseas in a couple of months too. So I'm doing my first world tour, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's kind of the thing, man.
Hey, you just came back from Dubai, Kuwait. Was you in Saudi Arabia?
I was in Kuwait, man. But my next tour, I do Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Djibouti, Africa. So it'll be my first time going to Africa.
So hold up. What about the cruise? Wait a minute. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. I know seems to be we already gonna come to I Miss USL. I need the information where we can do hashtag. I want to do this podcast from your cruise. So when is the cruise coming up?
Oh, you know what? You just almost got me.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
I was about to say it because it's me and you talking.
I'm sorry. Hold it.
Me and you talking.
Hold it. We'll talk offline. But
nah,
the cruise is coming.
But nah, every year I do the Cupid cruise. With Carnival, and it's a cruise, man. That's just a bunch of like-minded, like-energy people having a great time. I'm sure you saw the pictures and you saw all of the stuff online.
Who was on the last cruise? Let's talk about the last cruise. Who was on the last cruise?
I had Shirley Murdoch, and Shirley Murdoch, she sang and she preached because she's a minister. Her and her husband.
Whoa! She's a minister and did As We Lay. As We Lay. Oh my God!
She
Keep your life around for teens.
She did Asbury Lay when she was young, but her and her husband got a church now. They got a church. They ministering, man.
Okay.
Okay. So come on.
Okay.
Who else you have, Cupid? Who else
Oh
you have?
yeah. I had Mia X, Partners in Crime, Uncle Luck, K Chill, and Selena Johnson performed, and myself, and I performed. We rocked that boat, man. It was amazing.
And when was this last cruise? It was from when to when? When was it?
It was June. It was the first week of June. First week of June, man.
Okay.
It'll be around that same
5
time.
days. It was 5 days, wasn't it? 5 or 4
man.
days.
We did Costa Maya, Cozumel, and it was beautiful, man. And what I like to do, I like to just get a lot of like-minded, like energy people who just got good vibes together, so we can celebrate, bounce energy off each other, network off of each other. And so I do my parties, I do my events, and fortunately, man, I'm surrounded by a really good support group of people who really rock with me. So we really have great times, man. And y'all look. Y'all definitely welcome to come on the cruise, man. We can make it happen because one thing I can tell you, the cruise is gonna be bigger than last year. So I'll have more room to be able to do things like this, like podcasts and so on and so forth on the cruise this year. So for next year. So that'll be cool for y'all to come to that, man.
So we're gonna do the podcast from the crew.
And question for you: if people want to book you, I know you said you're going on your world tour. If people want to book you in the Northeast or anywhere else, how do they go about booking Cupid?
Easy. Eva Noel, 337-354-6533. We the easiest people to book.
One more time, slower.
My bad. I got in my radio voice real quick. Yeah. It's 337-368. Oh, wait. I almost gave you the wrong number. My bad, I'm gonna give you my number. 337-354-6533. That's 337-354-6533. And that's Eva Noel, man. She's my awesome manager, man. And
EVANOEL.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you now, if you're gonna call me to book me, you better have some money.
That's right.
Tell them.
We living that in the butt. Cause I'm 23 years in the game, man. Don't call me.
And you've been to Dubai. You performed in Dubai when you was over in Dubai.
I performed in Kuwait. I flew into Dubai, but I performed in Kuwait. But I have done Bahrain. I have done Japan. I have done Germany and a few other countries too. So yeah, man. Look.
What's some of the biggest stars that you toured with? Do you know that you was out there? What's some of the biggest stars?
So the biggest I toured with was Steve Harvey. When Steve was doing comedy, man, and shout out to Steve. Steve is somebody who I got much respect for because Steve is the one who helped me blow Cupid Shuffle up after the label gave up on it. So I've been on the road with Steve Harvey, man. I worked with Raheem Devon, Selena Johnson, Rofamel Waiter has been on the road with Stevie Wonder, Tank. I mean, gosh, I can go down the list. Chris Brown. Been a lot of people, man. Been cool.
That's beautiful.
Understand the following, because we about to give Cupid some closing words. We're going to go through Cupid. I'm going to give you the final word, but watch this before I give my word. It's 8 minutes till. The Cupid Shuffle is the only song that no matter where you go in the world, no matter where you go, you can go. I have been, and I still remember this from my military days. I was in Nepal. And I saw some Tibetan monks doing the Cupid Shuffle.
Like, to be honest, Cupid Shuffle is the biggest line dance song ever made.
Come on, that part.
Geographically, numerically, at the end of this year, Cupid Shuffle is gonna be diamond.
Wow.
At the end of this year, from white, black, Japanese, Asian, bar mitzvahs, it's identified by far as the biggest line.
So have you won? No, this is not to put a status, but to properly introduce you. What awards have you won? A Grammy, American Music Award? Have you won any of those awards?
I have not, man. I'm actually on the Grammy committee, and so winning a Grammy is like equivalent to you and your homeboys getting together and saying your homeboy is the best basketball player in the country. Like It has nothing to do with sales, nothing to do. It's just a group of people who vote what they like or what they're told to like, and they win. So, like, I look at that 10 million. So you can you can keep your Grammys. I'm gonna have a diamond plaque in a minute.
Amen.
So,
Yes.
you know, and I just do it for the people. The one thing, my brother, and this is big that I want to say is that the day I started making music for the industry and for the people and the hearsayers and for stuff like that, that was the most miserable era of my music creation. Was when I was doing it for the A&Rs and for the experts and the people who knew. And the minute I just said screw it, I'm coming back home, and I wrote "Do It With Your Boots On," everything went back to normal. So I do it for the people, man. You know, I do it for the people, bro. Not you
Beautiful.
know, that's it, bro. You know.
Love it. Love
We
it.
do more for the people. We be further as a people.
That's right.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Hey, so thank you, Cupid. Thank you, my friend, my brother. Man, I owe you lunch, breakfast. Just tell me when we can get together, man, and I got you, man. So I'm gonna let you have the final closing word. But Jax, give me some closing words as we get ready to get up out of here.
Yes, thank you so much, my brother, for tuning in, hanging out with us this morning. We love you. We appreciate you. We wish you nothing but success on your world tour. And this is the first of many to come. So, my closing words today: listen, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for always being a part. Thanks for being family with us. Look, if nobody told you today they love you, just know that Jax loves you. We'll see you tomorrow, Lord's will. Have a blessed one and be safe.
Brother Fatine.
Yeah, I just want to, again, great show. Thank my team. First, let's thank our guest, Brother Cupid, for coming on and just the energy and to just have a conversation with this brother, you know, that put out something like he said it's going to be diamond. You know, there's a lot of artists that are superstars that don't have diamond records out there. So this brother he's continuing to do the job out there. So kudos to him. And it just shows, as an entrepreneur here, you can do it. You can be the best that you can be. You understand? Sometimes you may not be out front. You may not be on television. You may not be on the radio, but you may be that bright star in your little grandson, grandson, or granddaughter's life, that your niece, your nephew's life. Take charge of your life and lead by example, because a lot of people are looking at you when you don't think they're looking at you. Those are my closing words.
Brother Cupid, give me some closing words, man, as we get up out of here.
Mine is super simple, man. To everybody that's watching, man, I want you to look at the 3 people that's on this podcast right now. Understand that they don't have to do this platform. They don't have to go out and be freedom fighters. They don't have to go out here and be activists. They don't have to go out there and present the information that they do to y'all. So I want to give a shout out to them. Continue to support them. Continue to support the information and allow what they say to transcend in your daily life to where you can make the right decisions based on whatever you want the world to look like for you. But I just want to say thank y'all for what y'all do, because y'all don't have to get on here and do what y'all do. I know it takes a lot of energy. Sometimes y'all may or may not want to do. Kudos to y'all, and we're gonna keep supporting y'all. And to the people out there watching, man, y'all just be blessed.
Wow, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, all I can say is be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere that there's no earthly way that they can pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret, what God can do, what he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. So guess what I'm getting ready to do? Throw some barbecue, some tacos on this grill, and we're going to end the show just like this. We out of here. Peace.
It's going down at the cookout. 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 Your body is away. Kick your legs up like you Mary Jane. Step 2 times to the right. To the left, we can do it all night. Now run up, run up, run up, run up, cut up, cut up, cut up, cut up. Be on the lookout. It's going down at the cookout. 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 Look, it's going down at the cookout. Rock your body this way. Kick your legs up like you're Mary J. Now step it 2 times to the right. To the left, we can do it all night. Now run up, let me see you run up. Cut up, ooh, let me see you cut up. Ha, be on the lookout. This your boy Cupid's going down at the cookout. Rock your body this way, yeah. Kick your legs up like you're Mary J. Step 2 times to the right. To the left, we can do it all night. Run up, cut up. Be on the lookout. It's going down at the cookout. 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 Rock your body this way. Kick your legs up like you Mary J. Step 2 times to the right. To the left, we can do it all night. Run up. Cut up. Be on the lookout.